No worries. We're gonna start off with talking Gene Hackman filmography. So just doing it in memoriam. So we're gonna jump into that. Let's talk some Crimson Tide.
Oh, Duke, do you want to talk about Crimson Tide first?
I love Crimson Tide. I think it is an amazingly acted movie. It is very tense throughout the entire time. I would have trouble putting it less than an A. It could be GOAT possibly, but and it's not just Gene Hackman though. That's the thing. It's Gene Hackman and Denzel playing off each other, and the stakes of nuclear war, and it's a taut thriller, and it's really intense, and no one's at fault. That's the best part. No one's wrong in the end, but each one just has a different perspective. Although I think Gene Hackman in the end was wrong about the horses. He was wrong about the lip sonars. He admitted that.
Yeah, oh, go ahead, Dermy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I guess. You got anything, Blaine, Dermy?
Yeah, it came out before I was born.
Dermy has not seen it.
Okay.
Wait, do you not see anything that comes out before you're born?
He saw
Blaine.
Superman.
There's a movie called Star Wars. I don't know if you're aware of it.
Right.
I saw it when it came out because I'm the old guy.
This was one of those that I saw probably. Most of his movies are one of those where I probably saw a little too young to be like super crazy about it. Like some of these, like with Behind Enemy Lines and this one. So it's like from relating back to when I saw it back in the day, it's like I'd probably put it at like a B back then, but I haven't seen it since then. So it'd probably rank higher. So I'm kind of in this weird spot with a lot of these movies where I haven't seen them since being an adult. So
it came out in 1995, so that was a senior year of college for me.
I a little low.
Okay,
so I'm sorry. I had graduated college by that date that it came out.
Okay, I didn't see this in the theater. I watched it at home. I was in high school at the time. So when it came out, probably waited till it came out on Blockbuster. Hey, everyone, go check out Blockbuster Video. It's awesome. A lot of people seem to be supporting that nowadays.
A lot of people are talking about it on X. Lately.
Yeah. But I probably saw it at home. My parents probably rented it. It was a great movie. Again, everything Duke said. It's both sides are right in a way, but it's just the way things are going, and then like his character ends up being like the hard driver that wants to just drive towards war, and Denzel Washington like rebuts him in that. It's a great movie. They're playing with World War III, nuclear war kind of thing. It's a great movie. I would definitely give it an A.
Well, yeah, just show some critic lists here. We got Crimson Tide, 95.
Yeah, that's pretty high, even for that many people. That's pretty good. So,
yeah, Blaine, walk us through what this looks like on the site right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've got everything that you can find at, places like IMDb where we've got the actors lists and all that fun stuff, and where it's streaming. But then also it's like if you want to drop your review, super easy to do, very user-friendly. You technically don't have to write anything in there when you're leaving your review. Drew, I don't know if you can scroll up actually to where it has add your review. It's that little tab, right down below. Yep, right there. If you go into there, like actually leaving your review, if you click on it, it won't leave one. But you don't have it signed in. But basically, we've got it run with a lot of sliders, and you can rank things based off of violence and nudity and political bias, even all of those things. We really let you break down. Like there's the things right there that people have kind of rated. So it's just super user friendly and easy to use. But if you're a little hesitant when you first come on, it's like you don't have to come in there and dump a bunch of text and type in a bunch of stuff. You can just run all the sliders really easy and be on your way. We have a lot of people do that with the early reviews, and then they end up either deleting and re-reviewing them or just editing them and starting to put in text later. So it's I wanted to make it fun.
Oh, there's Alex. Alex, good guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Blaine. So
yes,
this is your website, right?
It is. Yeah.
So I've not been to it. How many movies do you have on here right now?
Everything you can think of.
Wow.
Yeah, we have the full database. So I mean, it's if you come up with it, it'd have to be pretty obscure for you to not find it on here. So yeah, we've got access to everything.
I gotta check something.
Jack Tar.
I want to check.
Right. Yes, it will probably be in there, and we've been having it's been fun. We've been getting people on certain shows and stuff doing review like parties. So all of a sudden we'll see a huge cluster of something like Crimson Tide, and we're like, all right, what show is reviewing this right now? Like we just got like 20, 30 reviews of this. So it's been fun. Like tomorrow night, I'm on the Monday night hangover with Drunk 3PO, and so we're doing Highlander. So you'll see a bunch of Highlander reviews pouring in. So
that's great.
The one Highlander movie that was ever created, only one was made.
Right? No, that was only one.
No, there's
Television
multiples, and we
shows.
love them all.
So it's kind of like a live stream raid, basically.
Right.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the way Jeremy was talking about this, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, is you can get followers. So there's a social media aspect to it. Wait,
yes.
If you have an account.
Yeah. So you can get followers. People can check your reviews. And actually, we have a really cool feature called Friends with Benefits. So basically, you add all of the people that you tend to agree with to your Friends with Benefits. And so not only will you see an audience score, you'll have a Friends with Benefits score. So like the audience score, for example, could be like 95%, but your Friends with Benefits might be like a 50. And you're like, all right, well, this is dog shit. I probably shouldn't watch it. So so we've kind of got a nice way of breaking down and letting you really quickly see like what you might think about it with the Friends with Benefits.
That's really cool.
No, this is good. I'm just pulling up Gene Hackman right now. He was in the Crimson Tide, so I clicked on his name, obviously, and you already got it updated for his passing as well. And then images, just like Google, IMDb, and then credits with. I should have came here to get my pictures.
This is very handy, man. This is cool.
It's super useful. That's kind of the big thing that I've been telling everybody is it's like even if you're not dropping reviews yet or you're not comfortable doing that aspect of it yet, just use it as a tool. Just come and say like, hey, I'm going to go watch Captain America Brave New World. First, I'm going to go look at Criticless instead of looking at Rotten Tomatoes or some other place. And so,
there's something wrong with Rotten Tomatoes?
There's a few things wrong with it, but hey, to each their own.
All right, now I just signed up.
Okay,
Sweet.
so I heard an A and a B for Crimson Tide. What else about it? I haven't seen it in a while. It's been a little bit. I thought I had it on physical media. I guess I didn't, and I can't find it on streaming, on the streaming that I have.
Yeah,
but good.
It doesn't look like it's free anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tiny, you seen it?
I saw it many years ago, but I do mostly remember. I remember kind of like what Brad said, that there was a sense of tension through the whole movie. You really felt it. It wasn't just you were watching something that had tense scenes. It was, this whole thing is really important. This is the edge of your seat type of feeling. And I would give it an A or a B probably.
Yeah. Anybody opposed to a B?
That's fine.
All right.
I will accept
enemy
the B,
lines.
Although I personally think it's an A, but
yeah, I prefer A.
I'm all for that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we had 3 A's then. So
We'll move it to A.
We'll go with
there you go. That's where it belongs.
all right. Behind enemy lines. So this is Owen Wilson in not doing so much comedy, and Gene Hackman. This is a good one. I think I got this. I didn't see it in the theater. Got it on DVD pretty much as soon as it came out because I was in the Army at the time and just watching anything military. But yeah, very good one. And I rewatched it recently, and it was Harvey Specter was the first guy that goes down, his wingman or whatever. So that was interesting seeing the guy from Suits in a different type of movie. Anybody else seen it?
Yeah. I saw it back in the day. This is another one of those I saw in theaters, but probably a little too young. I remember liking it, but this is one of those I put in like that A to B range. It's a very solid movie. I thought it was pretty good, but it wasn't like, it wasn't one of those that super stuck in my memory. So it's probably like a B.
I saw this in 2001 is when it came out. I remember having the DVD because this is back when, as soon as stuff would come out on DVD, I'd always go and buy the DVD, which is why I saw so much physical media. Then I converted it all to digital and have it on hard drives everywhere. This was a good movie, but I don't really feel it's a Gene Hackman movie in the sense of he's overwhelming as a star. It feels more like an Owen Wilson movie, which is very strange because it was a serious role for Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
It's a well done movie. You know, it goes back to the time of when there's a conflict in Bosnia. So, and probably a lot of you guys don't even remember that. I mean, that was during the Clinton administration.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's actually a pretty interesting representation, and I think, you know, not fully historically accurate, but there was definitely stuff going on similar to this. I'd say I'm just considering this in light of all the other ones we have. B, possibly C for me.
Anybody else?
Jeremy?
Sorry again. I
Yes.
feel like I've seen these. A lot of the movies on here I might have seen my dad watch, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
There's only one that I know for sure that I've seen.
I can speak to this one. So I watched this when I was in college. It was early in college, but I had signed up for ROTC, so I was, big gung ho military. You know, I wanted to watch every military movie that came out, so I watched this. It was a dumb. In retrospect, it was a very dumb action flick. We're not very accurate to the military. You know, in
No.
knowing what I know now, but it like Brad was saying, it's a good look back to the 90s with Bosnia. We actually had fighter pilots shot down in Bosnia,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it was kind of, I think they were going off of that at the time, but it wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. You know, for people that aren't military and don't understand that kind of stuff, I think it would be better for them. But for me, I could point out stuff that was bullshit. But it was okay if I turned my brain off. I would give it probably a C.
It sounds like you're saying good popcorn movie.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
great, but not terrible. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Very self-contained. It's no Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers or something like that. Yeah, like you said, the Bosnia, time frame, and but it was just interesting to kind of see the progression of the satellite technology. Tracking a warm body, while they're in a different part of the world and things like that. So it was around that time of the Black Hawk Down kind of type stuff. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a tough movie to watch. Oh,
Yeah, I like it. I could watch it.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
All right, are we good with B or?
I'm lending towards C.
Yeah, I'm
Same,
leaning towards
same.
C.
C's fine.
All right, Enemy of the State. I thought this movie was great. I thought Gene Hackman did an amazing job as the old, CIA guy, or you didn't know who he was when he first kind of came into it. Then you find out he did all this stuff, all the spy type things, and that's how he knew about it. It's a really interesting movie because it's like Will Smith. You think it's a Will Smith movie, and it's more of an ensemble when you look back, because it's got Jack Black, it's got Seth Green, Gene Hackman, obviously, but really interesting movie. And it's funny, you watch it now. At the time, it was all conspiracy theories. They're not tracking all that stuff, and senators are just fine.
Yeah.
John Voight as well. John Voight
Yeah.
was the senator doing shady stuff. And now you watch it and be like, oh yeah, that's all kind of happening. They admit they do all that kind of stuff.
Directed by Tony Scott.
Yep,
Mhm.
good
Brother
director.
Tony Scott. He did a bunch of good movies. I saw this just once, honestly. I don't know why it just didn't really capture me. It was fine. Like I say, it's fine for a popcorn flick. But it's interesting now. Yeah, this came out in the late 90s, I think. When did it come out? No.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, 98.
It was
98.
98. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So it's interesting in the aspect of looking back at it now. If you go back and watch the movie now, I think you'd be like, well, this, of course, is very simple. All the technology they're showing in 1998 is like, holy crap, how are they doing this?
Yeah.
But if you look at it now, it's like, well, yeah, of course there's drones. What are you talking about? Of course they have this stuff. Yeah, of course they're tracking you by a phone. I mean, in 1998, I didn't even have a cell phone yet. I don't think anyone had cell phones. And if they did,
Right.
it
Beeper.
was like, it was like the giant,
Yeah,
thing
they
that
had
had the
pagers.
antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they don't track that. That would never be a thing.
I mean, this came out 5 or 6 years after the movie Sneakers. If you guys even remember the movie Sneakers.
Yep, I do.
Yeah. But it was actually that's kind of the same thing, just that, underground, because Gene Hackman comes off as a conspiracy theorist in this thing. And this, of course, is Will Smith was money. Will Smith was Hollywood at the time.
Oh yeah.
And he was kind of establishing himself as more serious too. This was a little bit after Independence Day and stuff, and he's
Right.
like, "I'm a real actor, guys."
Before
this
Ali.
is-
He wanted to get away
Yeah.
from Fresh Prince.
right?
Yeah. No more DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
I want to wear a suit. Put me in a
I
movie
wanna
where I
wear a
wear a
suit and,
Mhm.
and slap people around. Oh wait, that's the Oscar.
Oh yeah, Jamie Kennedy. I forgot about that. Jason Lee.
Dude, Jamie Kennedy has come out as like a real one. That dude's like a full-on he's wild. Like he says whatever now. I would advise people to follow him on socials. He's something else nowadays. He's really come out
Oh,
of his shell.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Scott
so
Conn.
Oh,
This was all like just a breeding ground for like the actors that were like, on their way up.
Right.
Yeah.
Jason Lee.
Jake
Like,
Busey.
yeah.
Jake Busey. Jesus.
wow.
Lisa Bonet. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would put this as a C. I think literally I've maybe seen it. I know I saw it once fully, and maybe I've seen it after that. It's just a C movie. It comes on, I watch it for a bit. Popcorn flick.
I say
I think
B.
that's fair too.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
With
Yeah,
what?
B or C, somewhere in there.
C.
Yeah, I'd say B or C, either one. It's not phenomenal. It doesn't blow the doors off, but it's a decent flick. Just turn your brain off.
Superman.
Oh.
Go.
The
Superman
movie,
the movie.
his character in it is not his best character.
No, it's his best character. It's always
Nope.
funnest character. It's super enjoyable. I love him
Oh.
as freaking Lex Luthor. He's an amazing
Hey.
person. He's an amazing character, and it's fun, enjoyable. It's the GOAT.
Dermy's involved.
I mean,
I have comments. I will wait.
I think it was after playing Lex Luthor that he made the famous quote. I could be wrong, but he's one of the actors who was one of the first people to say it's really fun to play the bad guys.
Right.
It is.
The most fun characters
Yeah.
to play are the bad guys.
Yeah. It's like
Right.
the wrestlers
Facts.
always love playing the heel characters. They always have fun playing heels in WWE. Yeah.
Who doesn't want to chew up the scenery? Like just
Yeah. That's what bad
it
guys
seems
do.
fun.
I would say best Lex
Well,
Luthor.
Yeah, or best
Yes.
best movie Lex Luthor. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, we've
yeah,
only
yeah, we're doing
best
back to
movie
movie,
Lex
yeah.
Luthor. Yes, I will agree.
Yeah.
Best movie Lex Luthor because
Yep.
the other one we don't want to talk about anymore. Best live action Lex Luthor is Michael Rosenbaum.
Probably.
Rosenbaum's great. He had the most time to earn it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to carve out this stuff.
My problem with, well, first off, don't forget that this movie build started with when it came on the screen. The stars started with Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve. Again, this is another movie that I saw in the theaters because I'm ancient. And I still remember like people being concerned about like, don't let make certain your kids understand that they can't fly. I'm like, yeah, I was 5, but I'm not an idiot. I know I can't fly.
I'm sorry. The number of kids who tried to jump off roofs after that movie, it's stupid that they had to say it, but it makes sense that they had to say it.
Yeah,
Well,
no, that's Darwinism. We shouldn't have had to say it. Darwinism was taking over. Gene Hackman is amazing in the movie, and he plays a fantastic Lex Luthor, and it's super fun and enjoyable. It's GOAT.
Someday we're gonna have to go off, do a tangent. We're just gonna go off and talk about different Lex Luthors because I've got opinions on this as well. That
Well, I mean, the best Lex Luthor is always going to be Clancy Brown.
I think Drew and I were talking about this. We were talking about DC animated universe.
oh, those are
Clancy
good.
Brown.
Those are
Clancy
so
Brown
Clancy Brown
is the
is
best.
always the best.
Lex
Yeah.
Luthor. The
Yeah,
voice-
that that gravitas.
Yeah.
He steals every scene.
Yep.
Of
I
every
mean,
episode.
We've seen him bald and Highlander. Just make him Lex Luthor. Jesus. It would have been
Seriously.
great. But for me, I mean, this is Christopher Reeve showing just his talent. But Lex Luthor, Gene Hackman for me didn't quite hit it. He does a great job. He does a great job, but it's not Lex Luthor. That's the thing about it for me. It's not Lex
Yeah.
Luthor. He's a little too comedic. He's not the Lex Luthor that I think we really want to know. You know, the Lex Luthor who it should be. Obviously, we'll see this summer whether or not we have another Lex Luthor done properly or not. But this for me
Nicholas
is a
Hoult?
solid A. Yeah,
Man,
we'll see if
Nicholas
could be
Hoult
good.
is he's such a good actor, man. That dude always
he's very
shows up.
talented. He's very
Yeah.
talented, and he's got a good look to him. I like the look.
Yeah.
But for this one, for me, I'm giving it an A. It's not a goat for me. It's an A. And also the ridiculousness of him wearing the hairpiece. Lex Luthor doesn't care anymore.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah,
I heard a
think this
goat and I
is-
heard an A. Who
I'm
else?
with Goat.
think-
I'm with Goat. Maybe not about his performance per se, but the film as a whole, like,
Yeah,
or
the
at
film
least
as a whole is,
well, then
is
wait,
absolutely
then
goat,
let's-
no matter
okay,
what.
wait.
It's always. But
Okay, wait, hold on. Then I have a question. Are we ranking the movie or are we ranking the performance of Gene Hackman?
that's a good question.
I'm doing both.
I'd say
it's up to you,
both.
Drew. It's your
It was-
it's your rank.
Listen, it's
these
the
are
only
all
one I
Gene
can
Hackman-
actually comment on. So
These are all Gene Hackman movies,
Right.
but you know his level of involvement varies. So,
Yeah.
Right.
If we're talking the movie, then I'm putting in a freaking goat.
listen,
If we're
I-
talking Gene Hackman, I'm putting it as an A.
Yeah,
Listen,
I would agree with
I'll
that
tell-
100%.
I'll tell you why it's a goat, okay? Because his plan was true and it should have been done. Nuking California was a smart idea.
That's all we should have done.
Otisville?
Yes. Otisville sounds like a nice place to live right now.
Mr. Luther, are we going to Addis Ababa?
Yeah,
I-
we're gonna go with the film.
Ned Beatty's
It-
an unsung actor in that movie. Come on.
As
Yeah.
far as me, I would give it probably an A or a goat. I'd probably lean if we're all right. I agree with Brad. If we're judging just Gene Hackman, I'd say an A. But if we're judging the movie, I'd say a goat. But if we're averaging the two together, I'd still go with goat. So
Yeah, we're averaging.
Yeah.
At this point.
Okay, then I would.
We didn't make it
definitely
clear
go with
previously.
I'll go
so
with goat.
average of the two. Hoosiers. I've seen it once, long time ago. I can't remember like anything other than
it's
it being
been a long
basketball.
time since I saw
coach.
it. My
Yeah, I haven't
dad.
seen it in a long time.
My dad showed this movie to me because he was big basketball, and the movie was what was the year this movie came out? Someone
in
look that up
the-
real quick.
80s, I feel like.
I thought it was 70s.
Yeah.
No,
It
it's-
was
no,
86.
I was-
86.
But
okay.
I think the time period of the movie is set is in 70s.
Right.
Yeah, it's set in the
50s
70s.
actually. 50s.
50s,
believe it
okay.
or
Oh
not.
wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So either way, it's based on a true story. I enjoyed the movie because he actually, in the movie, they're talking some actual basketball, the way they train basketball players, and
86.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. Had a great ending. I'd give it at least an A for me.
I like his name is Shooter.
Yeah.
I
And-
can't,
and it-
I can't comment. It's one of the few of his movies I've never seen. I was never into basketball,
Go
so I
go
just didn't
watch
see a
it if you
reason to.
can. Oh, Dennis Hopper was in it. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I only clicked on his name because I want to see if he was still alive or not.
Yeah.
Right.
2010.
2010, he passed away.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna give this an A. Obviously, you know, guess how I feel about basketball. And this
Tell
to
us
me
about it.
always has a very much of a Bobby Knight kind of feel in a way. Not just being Indiana, being like a troubled basketball coach and everything. It's a solid movie. It's really solid, and it's great acting all around. It's an A for me. And that me saying that, actually going to duck out to go eat. But I'm going to text Drew 2 goats in case I miss it.
What would you put as goat
Alright.
down here, real quick?
As
Duke?
I'll tell you right now, I'm putting Goat, Unforgiven, and French Connection.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll remember that.
Those are the 2 goats for me left on here.
Are you come back in, or are you? Good
Oh,
to
I'm
go?
coming back in. Yeah, I'm just going to go.
Okay, yeah, we're going to go for
Okay.
2
'Cause
hours.
if you're going to talk, if you guys are going to talk Daredevil, I'm all in on that. You know that.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, I'll be back in a bit.
All right, and I
can-
either have a horrible memory or
I can
can't
say
add.
something real quick.
Probably horrible memory. So Tiny,
Go
if you can keep track of who's saying what for Hoosiers or for these.
I think
Oh, I'm not
Hoosiers
going to talk
was
about
A.
Hoosiers.
I think Hoosiers was A unanimously.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, is this how it feels being being the guy that doesn't know anything about anything?
Yeah, that's how it
Yeah.
feels.
Wow.
That's like me when y'all talk anime or Pokemon.
Well, speaking of anime, I posted my first review over to Criticless.
Hey, there we
It's
go.
for Gundam Witch
right.
of Mercury, and I tore it apart because it's an awful anime. And
Well,
it needs
just
to
like
be
anime,
destroyed.
The Quick and the Dead is a Western. So
Oh, okay.
Quick and the Dead
Okay, I can
I'm
talk
sorry?
to this movie.
are good at transitions.
I love this movie. It has Russell Crowe, it has Sharon Stone, it has Leonardo DiCaprio, really young Leonardo DiCaprio. Great movie. It's a Western. It's a bunch of gunfights and it's like they set up like this tournament of people doing shootouts, one-on-one shootouts with each other. It's a great movie. Russell Crowe plays the main character, the protagonist. Gene Hackman plays the antagonist. He's the sheriff of the town, but he's a corrupt sheriff. And it's such a great movie because it ends so well. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but if you have not seen
A
this,
mysterious woman comes to compete in a quick draw elimination tournament in a town taken over by a notorious gunman. Sam Raimi.
and Sharon
that dude.
Stone is the mysterious woman, and obviously Russell Crowe is one of the other gunmen. But it's so good, and Leonardo DiCaprio plays the kid. Yeah, it's such a good movie. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but you have to see it. I will give this movie the GOAT, honestly.
All right. Anybody else?
I clearly
I would-
need to watch this. I've never seen it.
I love this movie. The character arcs, the character backstories that are really well thought out, the way they interact and connect. It's really well done. Also, just you have a girl boss who doesn't act like a girl boss. It's so great. She actually has emotion and she has range and she wants to kill the bad guy and she even has the chance once or twice, but she's not sure she can actually kill someone else. She actually has an in-depth character that grows throughout the movie. It's really nice to see a female character like that instead of just a one. Never mind.
Are you saying she earned it?
We all know how I feel about modern female characters. in movies,
Oh,
so
and
just stop.
Andy Pickle said it right here. He said Lance Henderson. He's in the movie. So, yeah, it's such a good movie.
It's so good. It really is really, really well done.
Well, I
And
guess
all
I
the
copied
side
my
characters
hairstyle
have
right
have
now.
depth. That you understand them. You notice things about them. All the side characters also are interesting people. So yeah, I would say A or GOAT. I mean, I do really think that that's well directed, well written, well acted, and Gene Hackman has a lot of fun with his bad guy character.
Anything other than A?
I went with
Should it be
GOAT, but I'd settle with an A.
Tiny, what's the consensus?
I said GOAT or A. I guess leave it at A for now, so we don't have to
Going
have
A.
a fight out with Superman.
At the end, we can move one up or down if you can convince. Runaway Jury. So this
Ooh.
is John Cusack. Saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody seen that one?
I have never- Been
a while.
I vaguely remember this movie. Very
I
vaguely.
think it had something to do with the people who their job is to figure out how to use how to convince a jury of things and how to manipulate a jury. I think.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot about picking it. So it's the sides that are picking or let's just read it off here. After a workplace shooting in New Orleans, a trial against a gunman manufacturer pits lawyer Wendell Rowe, I don't know how to spell that, say that, against shady jury consultant Rankin Fitch, who uses illegal means to stack the jury with people sympathetic to the defense. But when juror Nicholas Easter and his girlfriend Marley reveal their ability to sway the jury into delivering any verdict they want, a high-stakes cat and mouse game begins.
Oh, okay, I
Sounds
remember this now.
interesting.
It sounds cool. Yeah, I've never seen it.
You got your John
I-
Cusack, your
I
Gene
remember the movie, but I don't actually remember
Oh,
whether I
Rachel
liked
Weisz.
it or not.
I
Jeremy
vaguely
Piven?
remember it. Yeah, I
It's, it's one of those courtroom type deals, but puts her own spin on it with picking juries.
yeah, it has to do with the jury being coerced or something like that. But yeah, I vaguely remember this.
I mean, there are jury consultants, and their job is to try to help lawyers figure out which type of jurists are most likely going to listen to their side of the story. But if you pick jurists that are somewhat easily manipulated, and then you get an asshole on the jury who can manipulate the people around him, suddenly you, as the consultant, no longer have any understanding or control of the jury, and therefore you're at odds with that jurist who's using his ability negatively.
I mean, if you do watch a lot of lawyer stuff and a lot of trials, you see at the beginning they're always doing jury selection, and you're wanting to have a jury favorable to you every time, and it's always a fun little game that they play.
Yeah,
Try to
and,
get this to
and this dabbles into the coercing juries, based on either threatening or whatever to, go to your side. So that's, I think it's, I brought this up, but I think it's a John Grisham based story, which makes
That makes
sense.
Right.
I say C.
voir dire is all about figuring out who your jury pool is.
voir dire. Sorry,
Listen, I got told years ago that I will never be on a murder trial for the rest of my life because my godfather was murdered, and I believe in the death penalty. I will never be chosen for a murder trial,
especially in California or wherever you may be.
Speaking of, as a slight tangent, if you have not seen Jury Duty, the television show, highly recommend it. It's absolutely absurd, where basically they cast one guy who's in a jury, but he's on a TV show, and he has no idea that he's on a TV show with a bunch of actors. And
I've heard of this.
I would hate that.
it is phenomenal. And James Marsden is on it playing James Marsden, and he's one of the jury.
Oh, really?
And yes, and he's basically like playing himself as like just this like, oh, I'm an actor and I just got stuck here. It's freaking hilarious, actually. If you have not seen this, and they just got signed on for a season 2, I'm guessing it'll be a different celebrity, totally different. Like they have to get somebody that doesn't know that they're on a TV show and has never seen this, obviously. But it's hilarious. It's very good.
I now definitely have to check that out. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That looks funny.
Mm-hmm.
This
It's
sounds
very
awful. If I was ever on this, I would hate everybody involved. So
It
jury
was over.
duty alone
Jury
is
duty was
awful.
over.
Right.
Yeah, I would hate them all. You put me through jury duty, you freaking awful people. And it was
Right.
all a joke.
And then you're on there with a bunch of people that are actually actors being amplified versions of real people. Just it's wild. So slight tangent, but it is very funny. If you have not seen it,
Nice.
you should.
This is always a good one too.
There you go.
Oh, the original
God.
jury duty.
Every time I think about jury duty, I always go to the devil's, what is it? The devil's attorney? No.
Devil's
Oh, the one
Advocate.
with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, devil's
Yeah.
Devil's Advocate.
Advocate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Advocate.
because of the whole jury selection process that was there. It was always,
Yeah.
I always love how he just like picks that stuff out. I love the Devil's Advocate.
That was a good movie.
All right. I'm saying C. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with C.
Yeah, I
Just 'cause
don't
I d-
remember if I liked it
I
or not.
don't-
So C's
I
in the
don't
middle.
remember. I don't remember enough about it to give it
Yeah.
more.
I would have to rewatch it. It's been over 10 years.
We could always just put it back down and leave it in the question mark since none of us really remember it.
Nope. C is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah.
What's next?
All right. French Connection. I have not seen this movie.
I've never seen this movie. Anyone here seen this movie?
Besides
I've
Brad.
not.
I know
Yeah.
Brad could talk about it. We could save this for when he gets back.
And he can tell us why it's so amazing.
Yep.
Save for Brad.
Save.
There you go.
The Replacements.
That is an A. That is an all
Yeah.
time.
That's an A.
Love
It's
The
a pretty good movie. Yeah, it's
And
Yeah.
his character in it is fun. Like
Yeah.
he feels real.
Yep. A
And
coach.
he
I
started
mean,
out
similar
with
to the
users, so-
basketball, but it's football. But the premise, it's if anybody wants to fill that in, it's basically are they on strike? Is that what it is? The
Yeah,
football
yeah.
team?
The NFL players go on strike, so they bring in replacement players to keep the season going, so that
It's
they
like
can.
third and fourth string, or people just off the street.
Yeah.
Open auditions, basically.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm not huge into football, but so I got a kick out of it. It's like the NFL Blitz version of,
It's one
a
of
movie.
only 2 sports movies my mom will actually watch.
But like
And she
the
loves it.
cast is awesome. Keanu Reeves,
is.
is obviously Gene Hackman. I don't really know her too well. Orlando Jones, like they're just hilarious.
John Favreau.
John
Favreau.
Favreau, yeah. Keith
Oh, he's
David.
so crazy in that. He
Oh,
Keith
you're
David,
right.
yeah.
plays a SWAT
Yeah.
officer who's just like obsessed with beating on people.
That's right. In the 90s, John Favreau was a crazy man in like
Oh,
everything he
yeah.
did.
Yeah, he played a lot of really weird roles.
He was a comedy guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
this
was
is
a
a good
super
one.
stoner in PCU.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I can't remember that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I love PCU,
Oh,
and I
is-
forgot that was
Is
John
that,
Favreau.
is that Sandra Bullock? Yeah. It looks like Sandra
Her?
Bullock.
No,
No,
it's-
that's not Sandra Bullock. Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
no, it's
shit.
that other chick that he named. You've
Right.
seen her though. She was in a bunch of '90s stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And her character in this is pretty cool too. She runs a bar. She's a down to earth person, but she's also runs the cheerleading squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I could just go down rabbit holes of
Right.
Yeah.
people and stuff like this. Yeah, like not to keep praising the site, but yeah, it's like a combination of IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and a few other things.
That's really cool.
We've got the best of all of them, kind of easily accessible in one place. And which, God, I'll just be happy when we get video games, so that people will quit asking me every day when we're getting video games. So, but the nice thing will be, with the way that we're building it, it's going to be a thing where it's like, if you're not into video games, then you never have to interact with them. So it's kind of like you pick and choose what you want to see in the app, which will be nice. So
I just remember the
Yeah.
guy smoking a cigarette and doing the field goal kick from like 50 yards or whatever.
Yep.
yeah,
He's
it's a good
wiry.
one.
And then singing as well. They had some songs in there.
They sing while they're in prison. Not prison, jail. When they're locked up in jail and for drunk and disorderly.
Yep. Relatable.
Nice.
Are we good with A? Who would say other than A that's seen it during?
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah, A's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Unforgiven.
I don't know that I've seen this one personally.
Yeah, I think I saw this once. It was a long time ago. You got Clint Eastwood. You got Gene Hackman. Go down the roster. You got
Ooh,
other
Morgan
people.
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
right. This is that. Okay. I did see this when I was younger.
This is a really good one, from what I understand. I can't talk to how
Oh.
good the movie was, but
I actually know. I said I haven't seen it. I actually just recently watched this. I just didn't get to finish it because my wife fell asleep. We got like halfway through it.
What
No,
year
this is
did
a
this
really
come
good
out?
movie. It's back in '92. This was kind of like the end
wow,
of
that is
Eastwood
cool.
kind
Yeah.
of doing westerns.
Yeah.
It's a cool movie. Everything as far as I got up to it. And we have some people in the app that have really praised it. Actually, the reason we watched it is because several people recommended us to see it. So yeah, personally, from what I've even just seen, I'd give it at least an A.
yeah, I need
I've
to watch this
Seen
again.
it, but it's a movie that my dad 100% would love. I just don't remember seeing it.
This was exactly, you were exactly right. This is the end of the Clint Eastwood Western era.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was done very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was
I knew
like you said, end of the Western time. Because I remember right before this, or right around this time, was like the Young Guns. So then it got
Mhm.
kind of more into like a parody or somewhat comedy stuff. And
in
yeah.
a way it was a farewell. It was like his character has like given up that type of stuff and he's trying to just live a life, but an old friend or companion or something comes back and convinces him that they've got to go
Yep.
take care of this one thing. And it's like a farewell to Westerns.
Yep. Yeah.
deal.
It's an excellent film. I'd put it as like GOAT or A. It's very well done.
Well, Brad wanted that for GOAT.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
I'm with him if he wants to put it up. there. This is an
And
excellent
he did
film.
say French Connection, I think.
Yeah, those two he wanted to have in the GOAT to then argue later.
Well, he's the only one that's seen French Connection. It's probably an awesome movie. I think it won Oscars, like you said.
Yeah,
Alf.
that's where Gene Hackman actually won his Oscar.
Yep.
Was The French Connection. I don't know anything about it.
His first Oscar. I think he did too.
That was,
All right.
yeah, that was definitely his first Oscar.
All right, so let's break up these between Superman and Unforgiven. So remember, it's a combination of Gene Hackman's role and the movie overall. Because my
When
rules
you add in
are-
the movie overall, you have to give it to Superman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yep.
I'll work that too. Yeah, because my rule is, if it means greatest of all time, GOAT, there's only one. Highlander.
That's
rule.
Right.
Ah, gotcha.
Cool.
I like that
And he
rule.
really, yeah, he's got a
I'm
pretty
very
lead
literal.
spot in that one too.
I get in trouble for that, but I'm very literal. Awesome. Well, yeah, no, that was a good conversation about Gene Hackman. Honor to the guy. He's done a lot of filmography and a lot of different types of films. Like, can you think of like a modern day actress that has such a wide range of good films and good roles in them compared
Yeah.
to this guy?
Modern.
I can't.
A
Right.
modern day actor that has ranges like that.
I mean, the only other one that's been in some of these movies as well is Clint Eastwood, but
That's still
Right.
acting today.
he's still alive.
Mhm.
Somebody like DiCaprio, he's up there and he's
Yep.
been around. You know, he's in
Yeah.
our generation more of a modern person. I think he could end up in this tier with Gene Hackman of kind of revered folks.
What's the